Magical Meetups. I'm Candace.
And I'm Nicole. This podcast is about growing and learning through discovery of all things metaphysical and supernatural. Okay, so we're back at it again.
I'm so excited for today's podcast.
I'm nervous.
Why?
Because auras nervous me. I don't even know words. They're like mixing up. Or auras. I want to see auras, but I just don't feel like it's my thing.
I think she's getting hives, guys.
It's stressing me out.
Well,
I love them.
I love them too, and they're just so fascinating.
They are, but I want to be able to do it, but I can't.
But they say everybody can see auras if you practice enough.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. But I've been fascinated with them. I've always been fascinated with them. I've always been intrigued because I don't know if you remember this, but there was like a trend for a while where people would get their picture taken with a specific camera, and it would show their auras.
Yes, it is the Aura Camera 6000. And I checked on one because I, too, am like super fascinated, and I love auras, and I think it would be really neat to actually capture it where people can see it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they're like, okay, I can't see it with the naked eye, so it's not there.
Yes.
Even though there's been tons of studies on energetic field and all that. So it's there, but people like to see it.
Yeah, people like to see lots of things.
But it's very expensive.
I could only imagine.
Yeah, Scott told me no. I tried.
You know what? I support you, Scott. Listen, it's okay. I support that you said no because it was probably thousands of dollars.
Like $29,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a lot of money. I was like, no, we're not doing that.
That's like a whole car.
Yeah.
Like,
that's nuts.
For a
me.
camera.
Yeah.
And then our lucky to break or something.
But it came with like this whole software thing. It's really interesting, but that's definitely maybe later on down the road.
And we definitely cannot add another thing to the plate.
True.
No more things. Our plate is full. We have all of the categories.
We need to like eat some of the plate, so we have a space for the Aura camera.
Exactly. No.
I almost got her.
No. We still do not have space for the Aura camera because we cannot afford it.
No, we cannot.
Both of us together can't afford it, let alone singular. I cannot see auras, so don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm good at divination. Divination is like my thing. Auras feels like it's on a completely different level.
But why?
I think it's because there's no tools with aura reading.
Right.
Other than yourself and your third eye, there's no other tools. So divination, I always have like, my cards are basically its entity on its own kind of, not human, but its own.
Like it's the map almost.
Yes. But like my cards are like my familiar, I guess you would say. Like it's another thing that can help me. But aura reading is just you. And that's it. You, your third eye, and your mind, which is all you.
So fun fact, I told my friend here, Nicole, that I was working on seeing auras because I can get the first layer, like the outline. If I'm very comfortable with the person and I'm very like grounded, but I get very anxious about it, I guess. So if somebody just came up to me and they're like, hey, what color is my aura? I'm like, so I'm still working on it. But she likes to tell everybody, hey, guess what Candace can do?
I do love doing that.
Like, I know, and it's like, and then they're like, hey, read my aura, and I'm like,
But to be the truth, though, I say Candace is learning how to read auras. I never say
after.
No. I say, hey, guess what Candace can do? And then they go, what? I said, she's trying to learn how to read auras.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But, see...
But they only hear that you know how to read auras.
They only hear that first part.
And then you're always like, I mean, don't look at me, though, in the eyes. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous. I'm like, close your eyes. And then I've tried to do it. It's not working.
Maybe you should try when, like, right before you go to bed. Like, where everybody's leaving you alone and where you can just concentrate.
I don't know. I mean.
You want to hear some tips on how you could practice seeing auras?
Yes, because I probably need to practice more so that I got better at it.
Right. So, fun fact, if you find a room that's, or even a wall, it doesn't have to be a room. You could probably even, like, hang up a white towel if your room's black. I don't know why I said black. But
because you felt like my room would be black, and if I could, yes, it would be.
I know. Black, like our soul.
Exactly.
If I could get away with it, I painted my front door black. So I would definitely paint everything black if I could.
I love looking at houses that are all black.
Oh, I know.
They're so beautiful, inside, outside.
So, okay.
Yes.
White wall.
Yes.
So you want to hold your hand out.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say...
I'm going to do it right now. We're going to do it. But so we're on a blue wall, but
yeah.
I mean...
So like kind of just straight out. And you want to look between your thumb and your forefinger, that space in between.
So my thumb and my index finger, so like that big gap right there.
Yes, so you just want to stare right in there. Okay, look at your hand, but don't focus on your fingers. Instead, focus on the space between your fingers. After a minute or two, you should see a fuzzy haze developing around your fingers. Don't focus on it because you'll have to start over.
Okay, I gotta start over. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so I'm looking at the white between the fingers, but I can see the fingers in my peripheral.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So after a while, the fuzzy haze may turn into colors. This is something that takes practice. So do this every day for a while, at least a few times a week. Eventually, you can switch to looking at another person's hand after you see colors around your own.
So I'm not supposed to close one of my eyes so that I can see? They're supposed to both be open?
Yes.
Okay, well, I see like 45 things. I don't know. It's really weird, guys.
So maybe it just takes practice.
I just need to practice a lot.
Well, and I do it at nighttime when we lay down. So we have like night lights in our bedroom, so I can see somewhat. So I'll hold my hand up. We have a headboard that's white, so I'll hold it like that. And poor Scott, shout out to Scott.
Shout out to Scott.
Because he's always like, what are you doing? I'm like, mind your business.
Well, now Scott will know she's actually practicing trying to see auras. She's like, my daily practicing of aura looking.
But I'm still at that point where I can see around my hand and I can see colors start to develop. But as soon as I start trying to enhance it, because we'll get into it, but there's lots of layers. There's all kinds of layers to being able to read an aura, and some people have bigger layers than others, and
there are 7 layers, y'all.
Yeah.
7 around your body. Just you walking around with 7 layers, just vibing out around your body, and you don't even know it. But we're going to a holistic fair.
Yes.
In June. This will be out in June, so we'll probably already have been to the holistic fair. And I think it would be very cool if somebody there can see auras and then tell you, pointers.
Yes.
Not me, guys. I'm not probably going to do it, but because y'all know me, I'm too lazy for that. I don't have time. I'm doing other things. Just like you're doing auras, I'm doing charm throwing / bone throwing.
How's that going?
It's going. I got to finish bleaching my bones. It's a process, okay?
Right.
It's a process. I got random bones. Shout out to Kathy. She brought me bones. What's next?
Okay, so after you do like practice with yourself, your hand, you move on to someone else's hand. Okay.
So not their whole body. You like
No,
go hand to hand.
Yes. But then you can start practicing on the person.
So can you ever see your whole aura? Like, could you look in the mirror and see your whole aura? Maybe
you can practice in the mirror too, which I also think is very interesting to see.
Yeah, to see your own aura. So I'm manifesting that you're gonna learn how to do auras because I'm gonna always let you like read me. So you read your hand, then you're gonna move to reading you in the mirror.
Maybe. Or I might just practice on
me.
Yes, or someone else's hand.
Okay. So you're going to do your hand and then my hand or and Joanna's hand. Shout out to Joanna. Or Joanna's hand and then move on to reading or Scott's hand. Yes, poor Scott.
I know.
He's a guinea pig all the time. And then you're going to move on to reading like full body.
Yes.
But you're iffy on your own body?
Well, like I'll probably start with maybe practicing through the mirror on myself because maybe I could get a location that if I stare here, it helps me read it better.
Oh,
you know, so maybe practicing
but then
myself.
that is kind of weird to read yourself because then you're like looking into your own third eye.
I know.
It's like third eye inception.
Well, and you know, some people can actually feel other people's auras in the sense of like they may not be able to see somebody's aura, but they might relate to I feel like it's yellow or I can't understand that because I don't feel colors that way, but there are people that do. Strange.
That is cool. So I think that's called synesthesiac or something.
There's a word for it.
Yeah, they like smell colors and see see smells and like stuff. That is so cool though. If you can do that, like you're a freaking superhuman.
And we want to hear from you.
Yes, we do. Like,
if you
tell us all about it. Tell us what our voices look like.
Yes.
Like what colors you see or what smells you smell. Cause like,
or if you have any pointers for me to help see them easier or better, or what do I need to do once I see the colors, like how do I expand it? How do I get to that next level?
Yeah, how do you see the like how do you layer them on kind of situation? That's really cool though. Like it's a cool idea, but not something that I think I would be able to do. And that's probably just the me cynical thing, but it's also like with the herbs where it's like, yeah, bro, not me.
Well, I think if you know, you know.
Yes.
Like I think that everyone, once they find their gift, they're like, that's it, and I know that's me.
Yeah.
Or it's not resonating well.
Yeah. See, like there's some things that I'm like if you give me tarot cards, I'm like, oh yeah, I can read my tarot cards for you. But if you tell me like, oh, go look at this and make it fuzzy, I'm like, no, I don't. I see my hand. My hand has 27 fingers.
Well, you have to like relax your eyes.
I'm never relaxed. I'm literally, my leg is shaking.
I know.
Like I am just like about to run away. Like I'm never relaxed. Except when I'm sleeping, and sometimes I'm tossing and turning and I'm not even sleeping. So, what else can I do? And when I say I mean y'all. What else can y'all do?
Well, I would definitely recommend grounding and relaxing before you try.
Yes, because you got to relax your eyes, so you kind of got to be relaxed.
And one thing that I did notice, like at nighttime when I'm practicing or whatever, I actually have to put my glasses back on because I can't. And maybe it's just the first initial haze that I'm seeing. I can't make that out because my eyesight's so bad. I have, so maybe later on once it's like, oh, hey, there's purple, you know? I hope I can get to that point.
I mean, I think you can.
I think so too.
I 100% believe you can.
Thank you.
You are, like, you saw things already. So I think, like, you just have to enhance. And you got to get out of your head. I think sometimes you get super nervous, even, like, on yourself.
Or even with you. Like, I'm so comfortable with you, and, like, we can talk all day and give each other hell all day long.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're like, okay, read me. And I'm like,
yeah, you immediately are like a clam and you close up. And I think it's, you're not necessarily scared of, like, doing it. It's more of scared of like, not doing it well, or having that disappointment of not being able to see the layers or the colors.
Right.
Which, I mean, I'm fine.
Because
you just looked at me and you tried. As long as you try, I'm happy.
Right. And, everybody wants to be able to do everything right then, and it doesn't work like that. When you learn to ride a bike, you fall down.
I wish we learned how to do things right away.
I know.
Just put our head on books and automatically learn. We just put our head on the paper, and then we automatically tell the information.
Nobody would have Alzheimer's that way.
Oh, nobody would.
No, because they would constantly be learning new things.
Yes. You could wake up and every day, like, you could put your name on a book that has all your life story, and then you can know it.
Oh, that would be so good.
That would be so good. Scientists out there, do that.
Yes, and make that happen.
Make it happen. So
those are all my pointers.
All your pointers
that I've put together. Yes.
Okay. So I have a cheat sheet because I'm not learning anything. She's actually learning and practicing. I am not. So I'm going to tell you about the 7 layers of the aura. Okay, I didn't know there were 7 layers. I thought there was just like one.
I know. I thought, like, honestly, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Like, one color around somebody.
Yeah, like I thought the one color meant something, and that was like it. Like, that was you.
Right.
Or like it could change based on the day, and then you'd be a different color if you were like angry or whatever. Like, it would change based on that. So there actually are 7 layers of it. There is the first layer, which is the one that is closest to your body. It's the etheric layer, and it is the closest vibration to your body. And in layers, they vibrate. And so that's how the colors are. It's for your physical health. So this shade, if your physical health is good, it would be shades of blue. So if you have shades of blue on that first layer, then your physical health is doing well. Depending on, what if the color is changed, depends on, like, maybe it's your kidneys, or maybe it's your lungs. Like, maybe it's an ailment of a specific organ.
Causing it.
Yeah, things like that. And then the layers can be thin or thick. So depending on, I wonder if it's more of like depending on, so let's say your physical health, like maybe you're really sick, it would be thicker so you could see that better.
Maybe
then thinner when like you're doing well, like a thin shade of blue. So the second layer is the emotional layer. So this will be the second layer. So you have your first layer and then that second layer. And it will be a muddied color because the colors are bright rainbow combination. So it will look muddied when your emotions or your feelings are kind of jumbled up. So it'd be like the rainbow getting all messed up. So that's why it will look muddy. So if you are looking at auras, or somebody that can see them, or learning how to see them, that second layer, if it's all muddied, it's just they're having negative feelings, so they're not as clear or as happy.
Would
or
make sense, like
things like that.
Like muddy with your emotions.
Yeah, like when you're not feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, when you're just like meh. I don't want to do this, or I don't want to go to work. Things like that can always muddy emotions. The third level, or the third layer, is the mental layer. So that's the third one outside of the body, away from the body. It connects to your solar plexus chakra.
Ooh.
So if you were here for the chakra one, you know where the solar plexus is. But
which is right above your navel?
Yes.
Right by your navel?
Yeah. So like, I don't know, it kind of, like when I think about it, I think it's like at your back.
Right.
Like I always think of it like below your heart but above your navel.
Yeah.
But I always think of it as at your back, but they show them all in the front of you. Because I'm pretty sure it's this yellow.
It's like right above.
We have a tapestry and it has all the chakras, and on the tapestry it's a yellow chakra. So this one is connected to that, and so it's kind of connected to the ideas, thoughts, and mental. Hey, and the color is bright yellow, just like this chakra on this lady that's on our tapestry. You'll see it in a video at some point when we get our lives together. And it's supposed to be bright yellow. So if ideas, thoughts, and mental are not where they need to be, you're not feeling good, you're having bad thoughts, or maybe you're deciding to do something that wouldn't be good for you, like an idea that wouldn't be good for you. Even, some mental, not clarity, but mental troubles. Depression is heavy that day, or anxiety is heavy that day. That bright yellow wouldn't be bright yellow. It would tone down to like a pale yellow rather than just bright. Then the next layer is the astral layer.
That excites me.
I am so fascinated by astral projection,
astral travel,
all of it.
I know.
I got a reading done, and they said that my body, after like my soul leaves and like is like in the astral plane, when I'm sleeping, it doesn't want to come back to my body. So that's why in the morning I get so groggy and upset, is because my soul doesn't want to come back to my body. It doesn't want to play nice.
No.
It's like, oh my God, I'm free out here. And now I'm back in this dang body.
Which we're going to do a podcast on astral projection and travel.
Yes.
We coming out
100%. Because I find it so interesting that like we gotta do that. Yeah. And who gave me that reading was Janae.
Oh, okay.
And shout out to Janae, because it was an amazing reading. So the astral layer traits are connected to the heart chakra. And it is the bridge between your physical self and your astral self.
Okay.
So I wonder if you aren't very connected to your astral self, if that layer would be super thin.
That would make sense.
Or not exist if you aren't conscious of your astral self.
Right.
Because it's a rainbow color. Because if it's muted, then it signifies issues within your physical and astral self being connected. So I think that's interesting.
Very.
I feel like that layer might be very muted for a lot of people.
I think so.
Maybe
too.
even thin for a lot of people. Just
because I don't think there's enough knowledge base, even though, like, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but
yeah,
there's a lot of people, oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
But there's tons of people that won't go any more into detail of like, well, what is it? How come?
Yeah, they don't want to ask questions about it because it's kind of scary for people.
Right.
To think that
your whole body just like
your body lays down and then your soul or your spirit just like goes out and is like partying around the world. The next one, the fifth one, is the etheric template. So the first layer was the etheric layer. Now we're on the etheric template. And this is connected to your throat chakra. So the physical body blueprint. Ooh. And it should be like a gray. I'm not a gray. A blue. Oh my goodness, a brown.
Okay.
Because it's like a negative copy. So,
okay.
If you remember, I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably do remember. When we get negative copies of photos,
and you hold it
up to the site, yeah. So it was like a brown, like a light brown and a brown. So that's like what that layer should look like because it's kind of the blueprint of your body. So if it isn't, then it could be issues with your body.
Okay.
It usually just creates negative space. Just maybe you need to work on your throat chakra or your head chakra or your solar. Like it might create a kind of void in that area, so that you need to kind of check your chakras and that blueprint. What to look for kind of situation. The sixth layer is the celestial layer. I love the idea of celestial layer.
And I love these names.
Yes.
I feel like they did really well on doing the layers.
Yes.
The names of it.
And they make sense, kind of thing. Like the etheric layer and then the etheric template, and it's the body's blueprint, like a template of your body.
They're easy to remember.
Yes. Celestial is the unconditional love.
Aww.
So that's the trait of that one, and it is the information you get is from this is about the spirit realm. So it's a shimmering pastel.
So I wonder if that layer would be more prominent in people that practice their gifts,
and have like spirit guides and communicate with ancestors. Yes, I wonder if theirs would be thicker.
And I wonder if they even have the layer. If it's closed off, maybe it's one of those things that you have to build on.
Well, also, I was thinking, it says shimmering pastel, but I'm wondering if depending on what part of the spirit realm you dabble in or are in, changes the color.
Ooh, maybe.
Because if you
pastel can be.
Yeah, so if it's like ancestors and spirit guides, it might be a blue, but then if it's like ghost, it might be a green, and if you can see things, things like that would be cool. So the last and final one is the kinthetic template, and that surrounds all of the layers, and it's all of your experiences and all of the layers, and that is shades of gold.
Ooh.
So it reflects like your whole experience and like what your soul has been through. So if you can get to that 7th level,
man,
you'd be the coolest person. I know.
Yeah, and now I have it on recording.
Okay, she wouldn't be the coolest person. My mom's the coolest person. Second coolest person.
I call her mom too, so you have to share her.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
I have more than enough
Fair.
Mom. She can yell at you.
Okay.
Shout out to my mom. I love you, Mom. No, I really think that would be so cool for you to get to all 7 layers.
It's scary to think about.
Yeah, it is scary, I feel like. Because, once you are in the know, you're in the know.
Right. Yeah, there's not
if
any...
you know, you know.
Right. Just like with tarot, when you're reading, you can't just turn it off. I mean, some people have, if they have a gift, they're able to shut it down, but you can't just open it back up. A lot of times you have to do a lot of work and a lot of process to get back to where you are able to see things.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to keep on working.
Yeah, and fun witchy tip. It says it on the bottom of my page, by the way. Auras change over time depending on if the person is feeling happy or sad, and they grow and shrink, and they change colors. So if you master reading auras and read someone's aura again, it may be different each time.
That's so neat. Well, I mean, it makes sense, though. Emotional, things change, people grow and change, and...
Definitely.
Did you know that auras need to be cleansed?
Yes.
Very important.
I did know that, and you know how I knew it? Because you told me one time. One time before this time.
I'm so proud of you.
I remember that from that one time we were talking about auras.
You want to know how
Yes.
cleanse? Okay.
Tell me how. Because we've already talked about cleansing our homes, cleansing our chakras, cleansing life.
In general.
In general. Now let's cleanse the auras.
You know another thing we can cleanse?
What?
Our cars. Nobody hardly does that.
I didn't even think about that.
But it's important. Like, you know, especially me, I drive an hour to work and an hour home. I spend so much time in my car.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. You know what? When you're running through the car wash, you could put that intention on it, like when you're in the shower and you're cleansing yourself, your body.
Right, and you're imagining
all that. And when you're in the car wash, you can imagine the water just taking all that negativity off. When you're vacuuming, imagine that all the negativity is being sucked up into the vacuum and taken away.
See, we're so smart.
Oh, look at us.
So, before I talk about how to cleanse them, these are the things you need to watch out for. Like, when you feel these things, you know, maybe it's time to cleanse. So, you might feel just off. Maybe you don't know, maybe you're not really sad, but maybe you're not mad. You just don't know what's going on. You're just like blah. Or
don't really care about much kind of thing.
It's just like, but you know, it's not anything in general. Cleanse your aura.
Yeah. Do it, guys.
Just do it. Some people actually become physically sick as well, like when their auras are dirty, which is
just like when the chakras are dirty.
Yes, like can cause
all kinds of
issues.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So sorry, distracted. So.
Like, oh, that somebody's gonna be watching it with, like, listening to it with you, and you'd be like, oh, they're gonna be like, oh, is it over? And you're like, no, they got distracted.
They're gonna be like, nah, it's just Candace.
It's just them getting distracted by something in the room.
It sparkles.
I can't wait for y'all to see us on YouTube. We're gonna be a hot mess, and you're gonna be like, what the heck?
So we will apologize now.
Yeah, sorry now, just for future reference.
So when you're cleansing your aura, focus on your root chakra, which is located at the base of your spine.
Yes.
It's your red. So
it's the bottom one.
It's the very bottom one. So when I concentrate on it, I think whenever I'm even cleansing like my chakras in general or somebody else's when I'm doing Reiki, I imagine the color as I go through.
Yeah.
Some people just think of the actual chakra, but for me it's easier to imagine the actual color.
I really want those chakra disc at the shop. Rustic and Rebellious. Shameless plug. I really want those.
They're very neat.
But I need to save up for them because I'm poor. But they're so beautiful, and they have the gold of what that, like the lotus on it. And oh my god, I want them so bad.
And they're flat.
Yes, so they're flat. They feel nice, and they can be put on to you.
All like the actual chakra. Like I have a set because my poor husband. I can't get anything for the shop because I'm like, oh, I need this, and he's like,
we don't have money though.
I know. We're
like, trying to make money, not buy it all ourselves.
So after you think of, you know, that red color or the chakra point, imagine a red light coming from it and anchoring it to the earth.
So just all the way, kind of like just a string coming down and just
ground you.
Put it on like a stake in the earth. Not like a steak you eat, like a steak in the earth.
Some people even explain like, or another thing you can think about is imagine you need to be plugged in. And then you have to plug it into the ground.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yes.
Like the ground is the outlet, and then you have a plug.
So that way you can envision. Sometimes that's easier for people's brain to like envision going through the cord and go into the outlet.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I didn't even think of that.
Envision a bright golden shower of light beams coming from the sun, penetrating your body and aura. Imagine this light engulfing your body for at least 2 minutes.
Whoever wrote this, y'all just had to add all those words, didn't you? penetrating
I know.
golden shower.
Here's Nicole.
Oh, like, why did you decide to write it like that? I have questions, ma'am or sir, they or them, because it's just weird.
So, how I do this one is I actually did a class on channeling. So I use that with this kind of.
You taught the class or you went to the class?
Went to the class.
Okay. See, we still take classes.
We do. Like, I'm constantly wanting to learn stuff. But she talks about, imagine you're standing underneath a waterfall, and that waterfall is that clear light. So you can do that too. Just imagine like the waterfall flowing through with the light.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to think of a golden shower.
Yes, please. I don't like it. I'm not here for the golden shower.
And then you want to picture a violet light that extends from the soles of your feet to the top of your head.
I 100% thought you said violent light, and I was like, yes, got it. I was like,
she's like, I got this.
I imagine it right now, obviously.
A purple light.
Okay, a
purple.
Purple light. Okay,
yes.
I will do that. Thank you.
And just think of it as a protecting blanket. So it's just going to comfort you, and it heals any gaps or holes in your aura. It's just like an engulfing, so it fills in the blanks that might be there.
That's so sweet.
And then it's cleansed. And then you feel comfy and just like,
and you got a nice hug too.
Yes. I don't like hugs, don't hug me.
I don't like them either, but like from my imaginary
aura
blanket, I'm like here for the aura blanket. Don't touch me otherwise, but I'm here for that. That's so cool.
I love it.
So, I forgot my paper at the beginning, so I'm going to tell you fun facts now. Did you know that we all used to read auras as children?
That's very exciting.
So, you probably have sensed people's auras. So we probably all have sensed people's auras. It's kind of like that weird uncle at the, family reunion that you're just like, we don't go around him too much.
Right.
Like, no offense to other weird uncles, but you know the ones. But like you see those as a child, but then we're always taught that that's
not normal.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
Or if you ever look at your kids' drawings or nieces or nephews or whoever, and you look at their drawings and they draw people different colors, like pinks and purples and yellows, that's actually them probably drawing the auras.
Oh.
So, but what do you tell kids? You say, oh, that's not the color of people.
People aren't pink.
Yeah, people aren't pink. People aren't yellow. I mean, but they see those colors.
That's so interesting.
So they are seeing people as those colors, but you're just stamping it down.
I see. I'm going to say, hey, buddy, or hey, sis, what color am I?
Yes.
I'm just going to ask.
I can ask Kylie.
Yes.
We can ask Axel.
Yes.
Shout out to Kylie and Axel. He's the coolest little darn kid ever. And I'm going to ask him what color I am. I bet he'd tell me.
Do it. And if
yes.
it works, he's coming to the shop.
Yes. We're going to be like, bro, you're going to read everybody's aura.
Child labor?
Yeah. We'll give him pretty crystals for it.
Oh yeah, he'll like.
He loves crystals, so we'll give him crystals for it. So maybe next time you have a kid, drawing something or doing something, and they do make somebody pink or yellow, like maybe ask them about it. But they're like, oh, why do you think I'm pink, bud? Or why do you think I'm yellow? And
they say because you are, mommy.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
oh
gonna
my
be
God,
so
that'd
cool.
be so cute. I'm gonna cry, guys. If your kid says that to you, you better tell me about it.
We want to know all the details.
We want to know all of it. And this may be why a lot of us turn that sense off. Is because we're told all the time that people don't look like that. People don't. So if you're seeing something yellow around somebody, and then your parent or your teacher or somebody is like, hey, people aren't yellow, then you're going to be like,
ooh, I'm not going to say that.
I shouldn't say that there are yellows around them, so you're just going to kind of shut it off where you're not going to see it anymore. So after so long, you just stop, and then your logic kind of gets away, and you don't develop that ability.
And it's really hard to get back sometimes.
Yes. So you have to practice to get it back, like we talked about. So you have to relearn basically everything you're innately like grown up to be. So you have to, the best way to interpret them is to begin to notice how you feel when you're near people. So not only like looking at your hand. So that's the more of the physical sense of it, but also you got to practice the other sense of just like being around people. And I mean, I feel like a lot of us have that where it's like, oh, being around this person is draining, or oh, being around this person is fun. Like I feel like when I'm around you, I feel like we're always having a good time, and it's like very much a fun time even when I've had a bad day.
Right. So or like we're stressed because we've had to adult all day.
Yeah, like it's a good vibe even when it's hard. So I feel like you kind of gotta like listen to those kind of instincts, and then it's called clairsentience.
Ooh.
That's the proper name for it. And you're supposed to take a deep breath. As you exhale, take notice of your five senses and your instinct. So so if you're around people that you just want to kind of understand how they feel or how they make you feel, so you take a deep breath, and then you check on your sight, your hearing, your taste, your feeling, and then your sight. Did I already say sight?
I don't know. I was practicing what you just said.
Oh,
so I wasn't listening.
You know your five senses. And then like go on that gut instinct, that automatic like what feels like. Are you angry? Are you happy? Are you sad? Like what instinct do you have? And then that could be their feelings rubbing off on you.
Right.
And then you can try to like do that as your innate like instinct feelings, and then practicing at night your hand and like the physical.
Like both of them together, if you can get both down.
Yeah, like some people probably can only see auras, and some people can only feel auras.
Right.
But I feel like if you do, like you end up doing both, like you are so cool. But then you would have to figure out how to shut it off, because feeling everybody's emotions all the time would be a lot. Like it's very draining. So I would also like do that with caution.
Yeah. Especially if you already can kind of feel people's energy. Especially if you continually practice it, I could see where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so also, you can do palm chakra exercises. So if you do palm chakra exercises, number one, you rub your hands together quickly and pull them 2 inches apart. Repeat step one. Rub them, 2 inches apart. Do this a third time. 2 inches apart. But this time, only keep them 1 inch apart and close your eyes. What do you feel coming from your hands?
Vibration.
What?
So in case you guys didn't hear, I was practicing.
She was. So the first time you do 2 inches, you rub your hands together fast, and then do 2 inches. And then the second time you do it again, do 2 inches. And then the third time you do it again and do 1 inch.
So you told me wrong the first time.
Yeah, the first time I told you wrong.
Okay. You had one job.
One job. So you can keep a journal or write these down, and you can like figure out how you feel after your stimulating your palm chakra stimulating exercise. And the more you do it with your own chakras and reading the vibrations from others, the more it will come innate to you. So your instinct will pick up, and then it'll become second nature. So kind of those three things kind of together will help you not only with your own, like your physical aura seeing, your mental aura seeing, or emotional aura seeing, and then, the palm vibration feeling.
Fun facts.
Fun facts with Nicole and Candace.
We need to have like a little
outro.
Yeah.
A little outro that we can serenade you guys with. But yeah, no, that is the auras, and I think they're very cool.
I agree. And like we said before, if you guys can see them, or if you have pointers or anything like that, holler at us. That way we can look into it, practice.
Yeah. I mean, so she can look into it and practice. But I will support her. I'll read all the instructions to her.
Correctly.
I will read them before I give them to her. And tell her how to do it. So, yeah, no, this was super fun. I really like auras. I feel like there's so much more you can learn about them, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this was just... Our podcasts are just a little taste of everything.
Mm-hmm. It's like little intros.
Yes, little intros into that practice if you want to continue it. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got into divination. Is I was intrigued. I found out a little bit about it, and then I was like, yeah, I like this. Like I'm gonna
have to do it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna delve into it. So then, like, if you hear, the herb one or the chakra one or the auras one, like, if you like the intro that we gave you, you can always delve into it deeper. There are people that are specifically herbs and specifically auras or specifically crystals. Like, there are plenty of people that, do those one specific thing and know a lot about those one specific things. So this is kind of like an intro for you to pick maybe your favorite thing and learn more about it. And then you might change it.
And then tell us about it.
Yeah, tell us about it. We're always willing to learn more.
We want to know all the things.
Because, like, there are still things we're learning about in our own specific cases where we enjoy things. So, thanks for listening.
Can't wait for next time.
Can't wait for it. I don't know what we're doing yet. Probably crystals. And then we will be getting into some shadow work. I really need to get on that. It's a lot.
It is a lot. But the best part about our podcast is it's just the intro. It's just the basics.
Yeah.
Don't get overwhelmed too much, and that goes for everyone listening. Just know it's the start, and even if we just start, it's still better than not start.
That is true. Okay, so y'all are holding me to account. Next one's probably going to be crystals, and then shadow work after that.
Yes.
Okay. I've said it now, so now I got to actually do it.
Now you have to. Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.